Alright, back with another daily video. This one's a bit later, but that's okay. We will get back on track with the mornings. Had an early start this morning, but what is on my mind? A couple things. One, I saw 2 Lamborghinis in Burley after Sunsetcrew, and it was really interesting. I was like admiring the cars, thinking about how cool it was, thinking about the wealth, and that any Lamborghini owner on the planet, I'd be willing to bet, would be willing to trade the Lamborghini to go back to when they were 19 years old. And that was just a really cool reminder that I was thinking about, that time is the currency and that materialism will never take me backwards. And I can never go backwards to the small moments. And I love that about life, because for me, something that I reminded myself of when Sunsetcrew was growing and when it was still quite small was I'll never be able to go backwards to knowing each individual attendee so well and know exactly how their week was and know them so well. And that becomes true. My time and my attention at Sunsetcrew is more and more scarce, and there's more and more connections and there's more and more people, which is amazing. Super grateful for that. Another thought I've had is I am currently listening and learning about Duolingo and their journey as a company. And I listened to the co-founder, I can't pronounce his name right now without having it in front of me, but I listened to the co-founder who's from Guatemala on the Tim Ferriss show in 2022. That was really, really cool. So in 2022, they had 100 million users. They had 600 staff. They had IPO'd maybe a year or two ago. And it's really cool learning about their journey. Their mission is to offer language learning for free. And he went on to discuss like how it's in the business model's best interest to offer it for free, and that 97% of their users are free and only 3% are paid. Now, what's fascinating is they operated for a long time just based on venture capital and weren't profitable. So I don't understand that. They were not even not profitable. They didn't have a revenue stream. And so the investor at Google said to them, hey, you need to create monetization. So I'm keen to go and look at that. But something that kind of is one of my main points for this video is this man created reCAPTCHA, which is the robot verification. And he did that because someone from Yahoo in 2000 came to the university that he was at and gave a speech on the 10 biggest problems Yahoo is facing. And that was essentially the catalyst for what created reCAPTCHA, which is revolutionary in the technical age that we live in. Like, insane. But what they're talking about is that this person from Yahoo going and giving the speech about the 10 biggest problems Yahoo was facing, it's the ultimate recruitment presentation. Because 1, they're not saying, hey, come work for us. Maybe they are. But 2, they're playing into the ego perfectly of smart people. And this kind of comes back to my topic yesterday. Smart people want big challenges. People that are interested in greatness want big challenges. And the fact that this inspired this man to create reCAPTCHA, one of the biggest things in technology, and Duolingo is so fascinating to me. And the way this applies to Sunsetcrew is my strength is more being the visionary, the leader, the people person in a community, and something that will elevate and accelerate Sunsetcrew over the next couple of decades is a really strong technical co-founder or a technical team. And it's the way I look at it at the moment, the path to getting the technical help I need is to go and make money with what I've got, and then take that and hire someone technical. And something that's really interesting to me is like, it is appealing to people that are interested in the mission of Sunsetcrew how big of a problem loneliness is. And essentially what this guy says is, he says the way they recruit is they'll go and give a speech about their biggest problems now, and then they'll say, hey, if you want to be a part of these problems, if you want to be a part of solving them, if you think you're smart enough, come and join us. Now, this is a computer science perspective, or this is computer science specifically, but it's super interesting. My Sunsetcrew has a person, Margarita, who's an absolute legend, volunteering to do social media right now. She wants us to be a part of her portfolio. She wants more experience. She wants to practice here in Australia. She's from Italy, and she came across Sunsetcrew, loved it, loves the mission, loves what it's creating, has created her own crew of friends from Sunsetcrew, and she is just fully bought into what we're creating in the world and just wants more of it and wants to help it grow. And it's so cool, that attraction. But what interests me at the moment is, can I attract that technical talent? Another thing he said is, he was a professor at a university, the founder of Duolingo, was a professor at university, and when he was starting Duolingo, he knew the top talent for computer science because he ran the class, and so he just sent emails to the top students that he already knew. So an interesting thing as well is emailing and reaching out to the professors of computer science subjects and selling them on the mission of Sunsetcrew as well. Because at the start, I see it as Sunsetcrew needs to generate the cash flow to pay me, pay Margarita, pay a social media person, potentially a community leader, and then we are going to start to, and it could happen differently. It probably will. And then we're going to start to invest in the technical side. And that may look like a university student, not sure where that's going to come from. But it is really interesting to think about how we're going to go and get that technical person. Another thing I'm thinking about Sunsetcrew is we have a great product at the moment. Sunsetcrew is a great product. The WhatsApp is a great addition to the great product, and Sunsetcrew has a great culture. And I had this business idea a while ago, and it was essentially crew, find your crew. And I've had variations of this, but essentially an all-access pass to interest-based groups so you can find a crew for what you're interested in. And so what I'm thinking about with Sunsetcrew is, we don't have a website. Well, we do have a website, but it's not fully built. I want to start going to businesses and offering them business-to-business deals for their users. So we don't have the website set up. LinkedIn presence, building a business reputation and a brand on LinkedIn, important. But essentially the shift, I think, to make more money from Sunsetcrew is the brand shift, to go from small events to, no, this is, you're paying $2 to access 50 plus groups of interest-based groups, and you're accessing this platform where you can find your crew and essentially solve the issue of loneliness. So I think it's a messaging thing and it's a filtering thing. And if I can use the $2 as a filter and a call out to someone's issue, I'm hoping that can filter a bit better. So interesting about that. But also kind of the thought, and I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from, but the thought I'm having is, I have the product. Everything else is just packaging and branding. And the way it's being packaged and branded could be better, could be slicker, it could be smoother. And that is what I can take to companies, because it's just the positioning at the moment. And I'm keen to watch this back and see how I feel, because there is something that isn't quite clear, but I feel like I'm onto something as well. So yeah, that is what is on my mind. Had a beautiful Sunsetcrew session. Sunsetcrew was all about redesigning the school system today, and we did an activity where people were split into 3 groups, and that was their school. They had 30 minutes to discuss, like, what was the concept of their school, what was the objective, what is the learning journey they wanted to take students on, and then at the end, each group had 10 to 15 minutes to create an orientation of their school. So it was a great session. Had a good evening with Sophia after, and yeah, really, really enjoyed the time. So that's me for the evening. See you guys tomorrow.